Previously in Malaysia.
10 hours of travel later and we've made it to Langkawi. This was the view from the hotel. Why do you have a fedora? Help me. The drive here was absolutely crazy. You get a complete view of Langkawi from here. You see a bunch of islands there.
We're spending 2 weeks in this country, covering 4 different cities with 4 different lifestyles to see whether this truly is a country that you should skip or an underrated gem waiting to be discovered. Welcome to Malaysia.
Welcome to Penang. It was a 15-minute flight to get here. Literally left at 10:44, landed in Penang at 11. This is the weirdest thing ever. I've never caught a flight that small. It's probably not good for the environment, but here we are. We're an hour away from our hotel, which sucks in Langkawi. We were only 15 minutes away. We have a pretty short trip in Penang. We're only here for today and tomorrow. And after that, we're going to Ipoh. We've got a few things planned, and because we're only here for like a day and a half, we're in a bit of a rush state. So for now, we're just gonna have to get to the hotel and start running from there.
If I'm being honest, there was nothing really that special with this hotel. In fact, it was probably my least favorite from all the places we stayed in Malaysia. For a Park Royale hotel, this was very disappointing.
The weather difference between Langkawi and Penang is insane. Penang is so much more bearable. It's also raining today and it's a bit of an overcast, but in Langkawi, even with this weather, it was still really, really humid. Just know Malaysia in April is gonna be hot, so be prepared for that.
At this point in time, none of us had eaten any breakfast, and so this was the perfect time to head to a place that was a must-try in Penang, the Penang Road famous laksa.
This is one of the Michelin star places that you're gonna visit in Penang. The signature dish is the laksa. This is the first meal that I'm having of the day, so this, I'm hoping, is gonna slap.
Major disclaimer, the laksa here only comes with sardines. If you're not that big on seafood, especially sardines, then you might want to reconsider coming here. I personally don't really like sardines, but in this laksa, they were much more bearable.
Alright, we're done with the famous laksa. Honest reviews, I don't like sardines and the laksa is only sardines. So if you don't like sardines, then you probably want to skip out on this restaurant because to me, I didn't hate it, it was okay, but the others seem to hate it. They do not like sardines at all. The CKT as well, there's nothing special about the CKT. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't amazingly Michelin star good either. So if you come here, come predominantly for the laksa. And if you're not into sardines, then this is one that you can probably skip out on.
Everyone had been rather disappointed from that meal, so we decided to cheer ourselves up by trying another restaurant, which ended up being another Michelin-rated one.
That was honestly some of the best Malaysian food that I've had. Like, it's Michelin star as well. If you do come and you want to try amazing Michelin Malaysian food, Duan, I think I'm pronouncing that right. I'll put it here. It's amazing, it's 10 out of 10. You genuinely love everything they have. Everything we ate was absolutely phenomenal. We got skewers, we got curries, and all of it tasted amazing. And it wasn't too expensive either. It was around 80 Australian dollars for 4 people, which is not too bad at all. So yeah, if you want really good food in Penang, Duan, 10 out of 10.
Now, one part of Penang which is actually pretty cool is the shopping, particularly vintage shopping. If you're into thrifting, Penang has a massive market for it, and you can genuinely find some cool and unique pieces. Unfortunately, we got hit with probably the worst weather to travel in, so we decided to head home for a bit to freshen up. We spent the afternoon relaxing and playing pool at the hotel bar, and then got ready to head out to Penang's famous Love Lane.
Welcome to Love Lane. I have no idea why it's called Love Lane, but it is a street in Malaysia or in Penang where you can go get drinks, food. There's like barely any locals walking around. It's mostly just tourists. This place is like designed for tourism. I think here's where you're gonna find most of the bars. I don't know if there's any clubs. I know there's a lot of bars here. So I think we're gonna hop by 101 and suss them out.
On this specific night, for whatever reason, Love Lane was quite dead. We thought that it might be the case because it's Malaysia, but we came back the next day and this street had turned completely upside down. But we'll get to that. There wasn't much happening at Love Lane, so we found ourselves at a nice Middle Eastern restaurant to finish the night. Day 2 started off with a really questionable buffet, followed by a really questionable coffee.
What is this? This is a cappuccino. I don't know how much
Right,
Foam.
it's like so unbalanced.
Yeah, why is there so much foam on the cappuccino?
But there was no time to waste. We had only one day to get through as much Penang as we could, so it was time to head to the main tourist activity, Penang Hill. Penang Hill is a highland reserve located 833 meters above sea level. It was a place made by the British to escape the heat of Georgetown and also as a sanctuary for recovery. You take a funicular up to the top, and on the way, you get to enjoy some pretty amazing views of the city.
The view from up here is absolutely insane. You can see the whole train station area that you came from and the rest of the city skyline up there as well. The view from here is absolutely insane. It's only 40 ringgit to come up here and you get to see the entire city skyline as well as the train tracks. It's absolutely beautiful. The train ride up here is also pretty cool. There's like a little cab that kind of takes you up, like a little railway cab thing. And it's pretty cool. It's pretty zippy as well. So it only took us like around 5 minutes to get all the way up here. You really feel it in your ears though. Hey guys, today we are at the top of a mountain in Penang. These are my snipers. Oh, okay.
Wow, guys, look at that. I can't even see anything. Very good.
This is beautiful. It's completely fogged up here. So you get actually no view. You get literally no view, but it's still a beautiful view. We're very high up now.
Penang Hill was incredibly beautiful, but again, we got hit with Malaysian rainy weather, so it was time for us to head back down.
Being completely honest, guys, Penang does not have many things to do. There's a lot of streets to explore, there's a lot of shopping to do, but apart from being a massive city, there's not really any activities or nothing that feels adventurous, especially after you come from Langkawi. It feels like a bit of a pause on your trip. That's what we're feeling. We're just in a mall right now called Gurney Plaza. The mall, the shopping life here is really good. You find a lot of stuff, you can find really good deals. So what I do recommend is if you do come to Penang and you're into shopping, you use Penang as a pit stop to just get all your shopping and essential clothing stuff done. Guys, it is raining here like crazy. It is pouring. There is actually nothing to do when it's raining. We've been in a mall for the past, I think 2 hours, and I thought that the rain would stop, but it's just gotten worse. It's getting progressively worse. But we have a temple that we got to get to. There's a temple around 25 minutes away from here that we got to see. It's one of the most famous temples in Malaysia, and we're leaving tomorrow. So that only gives us today to actually go see this temple. So screw the rain. We're gonna go home, drop off some of that stuff, and then put on our ponchos and head to the temple. Yeah, we can't do much with the weather.
The rain in Malaysia can get quite bad. It's incredibly common to have 15-minute bursts of rain throughout the day. This can really mess with your travel, so the best thing you can do is ensure that you have a waterproof backpack and ponchos to cover you from the rain.
The weather has finally cleared up and it's sunny now. Guys, the traffic was super bad, so we arrived at the temple after it closed. It closed at 5:30 and we got here at 5:39, so 10 minutes late, but still worth it because this temple from the outside looks absolutely amazing. Look at that. That's not even the full view of the temple and it already looks amazing. Even when you're driving in, you can see the temple from a kilometer away because it's on a hill. Yeah, that's awesome.
I'm glad that we pushed past the weather and the traffic to get to this temple, because this was genuinely one of the most jaw-dropping sights that I've visited. We spent some time at the temple before ordering a grab so we could head out to dinner, and this dinner spot was another Michelin-rated place loved by locals. Welcome to Auntie Gake's. The wait was around 45 minutes to get in, so we decided to explore the nearby neighborhood while we wait.
There are so many noises here. This is very overstimulating. I don't know where we are. My God. Everyone says you gotta visit the central fire station here. This is apparently a working fire station, but it's also a tourist attraction. So I don't know how this works.
We explored random parts of the city, got absolutely drenched, and around 30 minutes later, it was time for us to dine in. The food at this place was pretty good, but if I'm being honest, it wasn't worth the 30 to 40 minute wait. The mains definitely weren't bad, but they weren't unique either, and the curries were borderline indistinguishable. They also had 3 desserts on the menu. These were authentic Nyonya desserts that we decided to try. But a heads up, these are very authentic desserts. Us 4 didn't end up liking any of them, but they are definitely worth trying. We finished dinner, it was late, and we had to wake up early to check out from the hotel. But before ending the night, we decided to head over to Love Lane for one quick drink. Fun fact, we did not have one quick drink.
I don't know, I'm just gonna go get more beer on the other side. What is happening, bro? What the fuck is happening?
The next morning, we woke up with a fat headache and left Penang for Ipoh. Penang had been an interesting experience. On one hand, there was nothing to do and the weather really sucked. But on the other, we saw one of the most beautiful temples in Asia and also experienced a night that made absolutely no sense. Here's my takeaway. I wouldn't call Penang an essential travel destination, but if you're in Malaysia and you want to experience everything the country has to offer, then a day or two in Penang is something that is worth checking out. With that, I will see you all in Ipoh.